What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the banded incline chest press. I'm going to show you my favorite ways to set up this exercise to get the most chest activation and the best growth. Let's get right into it. Grab yourself a 41-inch loop style band, and we're going to set up the easy one first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a pair of Clench band handles because it makes this exercise a lot easier. And the way I like to set this up, I'll put one handle on one side, one handle on the other side, and then I just loop it around my back and grab it with the handles rotated so that the band comes to the inside of my wrist. And then to set this up, the biggest thing here is trying to minimize the amount of shoulder engagement and rotation. So what we're gonna wanna do is hike this band up as high as we can into the midsection of our back, underneath our armpits. And to do the incline press, so like a standard chest press, we're gonna be going straight out, and that's gonna target kind of our mid chest. With the incline, we're gonna go up at a little bit of an angle, and now we're gonna engage some more of that upper chest. So now you can see, obviously I can do this standing with the resistance band because we're not dependent on gravity. But I find that I like, just because of how I do the incline press most times, I like the comfort of a bench. So I like to get down in my bench here, just like I would with dumbbells or free weights, get set up, and I kind of like to arch my back just a little bit here, put my feet into the floor, drive through my feet, exhale and squeeze it up. We're gonna go kind of wide at the bottom, keeping our elbows kind of tucked. And then we're gonna squeeze them together and converge at the top, trying to drive that bicep into our pec muscles. Big squeeze at the top, let it down nice and slow. And it's all about the control here and that time under tension. You wanna feel that tension in your chest muscles. And if you find that you're getting too much shoulder engagement, I recommend trying to hike that band up even further into those armpits so that you don't get so much rotation where the band is pulling down and giving you that rotation. That's what's causing that added shoulder engagement. And honestly, that is my favorite way to set these up, whether it's standing or, like I said, seated in the incline bench. And of course, with an incline bench, you can always adjust the angle. So this is at like a 45 degree, which will kind of target, you know, the middle of your upper chest. The higher you put the bench up, the further up your chest it's going to go, but it's also going to get more shoulder involvement. And then the lower you go, the lower down it's gonna go in your chest. So with the handle, or the two-handed version of this exercise, you're able to kind of get more of that convergence at the top of the rep, where your arms, they go out at the bottom, stretching out that chest, and then at the top, they converge and we drive those biceps into our pec. And with that, I feel like I can get a lot better chest squeeze and engagement at the top. Another way that you can do this exercise is utilizing some kind of a rod or a bar. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, as long as it's strong and sturdy and can support the weight and it's not gonna break or bend on you. And then same thing here, we're gonna use this 41-inch band. This way will feel more like a barbell press, so you're not gonna be able to get that convergence like with the dumbbells, but you're able to still get that squeeze, and it'll feel a lot like a barbell incline press. You'll have more control, more stability. Setting it up, super simple. So I loop the band on one side of the bar, loop it around my back, and then I just hook it to the other side of the bar. And I like to bring the band inside of my hands, get it all nice and centered. And then we're gonna hike this band up like I did before, as high as you can get it in the small of your back, up into those armpits. Same thing as before. Sit down on our incline press, get everything nice and comfortable. And we're just gonna go down into our chest press, all the way down to the point where you don't have any more tension. Driving it up, squeezing, controlling it on the negative. Big squeeze at the top, exhale, let it down nice and slow. And if you need more tension, you can always try to wrap the band. You can position the band like wider on the bar. That'll take up a little bit of slack. Your grip will have to get a little bit wider. And then you can also wrap it around the bench or put something behind your back like a foam roller or something to take up some more of that slack if you need more tension at the bottom of the rep. If you don't have an incline bench or the bar or handles and you want to do this a simple way, you can do decline push-ups with a band, because basically we're going to get into that same angle, relatively speaking, right? So we're going to wrap the band around our back just like we did on the other exercises, and then you're going to need to do something to elevate your feet. So I got a box here, but you can use anything that'll elevate your feet, a couch or whatever you can find, a chair. And you want to make sure that you're at a good angle, right? So we still need to be at that relative angle where we're pushing with our upper chest and getting good engagement here. And we're doing push-ups, right? So we want to keep our core pulled in tight and control it on the negative. Big squeeze on the top. Let it down nice and slow. And squeeze it out. And one thing you'll notice here is with my hands being planted firmly into the ground, I don't get that shoulder rotation, or that helps to react the shoulder rotation that comes from this band. So this band is pulling underneath my arm and it wants to rotate my shoulder down or internally, and I have to fight to rotate it externally to keep it in that position if my hands are out in the air free. But when I put them on the ground like that, that provides a reaction force and it takes some of that shoulder engagement out of the rep. So I would encourage you to use both the decline push-ups and the incline press to target your upper chest, because you'll be able to get more muscle fatigue and engagement without burning out those shoulders. All right, so there's a couple variations of the incline press for you with bands. I typically like to program an incline press variation on either my chest focus days or my shoulder focus days, or if you're just doing like a push-pull legs workout, put those in on your push workouts for sure. I find that upper chest or incline presses, I tend to get better chest engagement, especially with the upper chest, obviously. And then also with the added shoulder engagement, it's great to throw in on your shoulder days where you're doing some kind of overhead press variations, things like that. So I encourage you to throw these in. And even if you're doing like mostly free weight style workouts, I love to throw in the banded exercises just as something different, because the strength curve is obviously significantly different than free weights, and I find that it allows me to get more emphasis, especially at the top portion of the rep where your chest is fully engaged, fully activated, and you're the strongest in the rep, versus at the bottom of the rep with a free weight. That's the hardest portion of the rep usually, is at that bottom and the changeover. When you add bands to this, it changes that strength curve, so now you can focus more on the area where the muscle itself is fully contracted. If you like what you saw today, be sure to smash that like button. Also, if you want to see more content like this, check out the on-screen video links. We have tons of content just like this on our channel. We'd love to have you stick around, subscribe, join the Clench crew. Also, if you need any of the bands or accessories shown today, be sure to head over to clenchfitness.com, and thank you for watching.